Montgomery's out, the thought is that Jahmyr Gibbs moves into that number one role, but is he that guy for the offense? Is he that guy? Does he have that trust from Dan Campbell or Ben Johnson and Scotty Montgomery yet? Or are they going to mix it up? Is Craig Reynolds going to handle the majority of the rushes?
No.
They brought in Zonovan Knight. They actually brought him up from the practice squad. He's more of a Jahmyr Gibbs type of runner. He's a speed guy. He's on the outside. So I don't know if I would put Craig Reynolds into the category, but we don't have that between the tackles, between the tackles runner with David Montgomery out. So I guess, Booner, my long-winded response and question is, do you think the Lions are done? Do you think they're going to be looking for another running back to help solidify that room while Montgomery's out? A Kareem Hunt, Fournette type of guy? I'm not saying it has to be then. Or are they going to just try to get by right now with Jahmyr Gibbs as that number one?
I don't think they're going to get anyone else. I think they're going to get by. Obviously, David Montgomery isn't on the – it's going to be a couple weeks, if that. So he will be back. I think it's a situation where they're going to look at it and say that's why they brought Zonovan Knight up is, hey, let's try and get by. As much as everyone hates it, at the end of the day, and I know Jalen said, oh, God, no.
Not a chance.
Craig Reynolds will get carries. You saw it kind of in that fourth quarter and that third quarter. That's a guy even last year that they trusted a little bit to kind of just that first down, get a couple yards, get 4 or 5 yards, and they trust him. I don't know if it's not a great, that's our end-all, be-all. But for a couple weeks, if you kind of throw him and Zonovan Knight back and forth, I get it, I guess. If you don't want to...
Carries are fine. If he gets a couple carries, that's fine. But I don't know about you. I don't have the confidence that he could be that 3-down back.
He will not be. I think I can guarantee that. But I do think Jahmyr Gibbs, and I really, really want to say this because Nick talked about it yesterday that he feels like he needs to get more touches, and he does. He needs to get more, not just catch, he needs to get more carries as well, especially with a guy like David Montgomery out. As much as we all hate it and we don't want to run him into the ground, it has to happen now.
Yes.
Because we're in the NFL. We saw it this Sunday. You're in the winter. You have to win these games. There's no games you can take off and just say, hey, let's just wait till David Montgomery comes back. We'll still run Jahmyr Gibbs 8 times, and we'll just give Craig Reynolds 15, 20 touches. Not going to happen. This is an NFL. You're in the NFL. You have to win these games. You have to give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs, whether it's 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it is. Give him the rock. Let him make plays, and let him open it up. Let him get used to that, because maybe that's up turning out to where that's why we took you number 12. Jalen?
Why are we saving him? You know what I mean? We picked him so high.
Yeah.
You got Bijan out there in Atlanta splitting, downs, but he's playing, full flesh, 100%. Why are we saving him? If D-Mont's out, I don't want to see Craig Reynolds play. I don't. Not first down, second down, or third down. He's not the back. You draft him at number 12. You want him to play. I think Jahmyr Gibbs needs to play, get some more reps. But why? It's no reason run him into the ground. It's the NFL now. He's here. We picked him that high for a reason. We didn't pick him to split touches and if D-Mont gets hurt, let's do Craig Reynolds. I know Zonovan Knight's good and all, but Jahmyr Gibbs needs to get in the backfield. Needs to get touches. I do not want to see Craig Reynolds play over Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
It's not. It makes zero sense.
And I get it with David Montgomery, and I do get it a little bit because David Montgomery's a good running back.
100%.
He is a legit running back, and you want him to be that guy to go get you 4 or 5 yards. And even if you look at Jahmyr Gibbs in college, versus Kansas State, 15 carries. Auburn, 17 carries. Ole Miss, 6 carries, 15, 10. He had 2 20-plus ones, 18. So he's done it before. He's got 15-plus. Obviously, being a rookie and a different type of back than Bijan, you don't want to just go give him 20 carries right off the bat in the NFL, and that's why you have David Montgomery to take those. But now, with David Montgomery out, if we don't see him at least get – I'm going to just throw a number out there. What did he have last game? 7? Or maybe even less. He might have had less carries. 6 or 7 the last 2 games. If he doesn't get 12 carries, then we have an issue here.
I'm with you.
You have to at least give him 12 carries and get him some touches out of the backfield. And the only reason I'm saying 12 is because David Montgomery's out.
Yeah, I'm with you. And to defend Craig Reynolds just real briefly, he is the best pass blocker, the best running back on that roster in pass protection. So it's not a bad thing having him out there on third down, maybe moving Jahmyr Gibbs to the slot. But like Coach Walk said in the chat, so far through 2 games, we've seen more snaps to the second rounders, Brian Branch and Sam Laporta, than we have out of Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Mm-hmm. And Jack Campbell has some similar question marks of his usage and why he isn't playing more on the defensive end. But yeah, with Jahmyr Gibbs needing to get him carries, needing to get him touches, you just need that explosion. You draft him as a weapon, and then you look to the wide receiver room with Antoine Green out with a concussion. We don't know how long he's going to be out. He might play. They didn't target Marvin Jones one time in this last game. He's healthy. I don't know what was up with that.
Broder, with the Jahmyr Gibbs, is like last week, and everyone probably saw it on social media, on Woodward Sports Socials. I put out there, I thought it was the Jahmyr Gibbs game. They talked about it in the press conferences that they were going to try and get him involved more. It didn't feel like that. Like, it just didn't feel like that. And even when David Montgomery went down, it just didn't feel like they were like, let's get the ball to Jahmyr. Let's get the ball to Jahmyr. It was just, Craig Reynolds. And that run game just died. And that was what had you beating the Seahawks. So this week, I might double down and say from last week, this is your Jahmyr Gibbs game. Yeah. This is where he gets a touchdown. This week, that's what I'm doubling down. This is the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown week, and I truly, truly believe it. That now with David Montgomery out, that he has to go out in there and do that. You have to see him get in the end zone. You have to see him get the touches and make plays. He's a 12th overall pick. Ben Johnson, you said you have all these things written up for him and all these different plays for him, and you want to use them in different ways. Let's see it. Give it to us, please.
Show us.
Yeah, I really want to see an end around here or there. I want to see a screen play. Have we seen one screen for him that has broken loose? So. It's like, what are we doing with this weapon that we talked about? Gibbs is explosive. We really need to see it come Sunday against the Falcons for us to want a chance to win this game.
Booner, do you think we're good at wide receiver?
Yeah.
You're not worried at all?
I've kind of gone on, and you can always add weapons. Like, you can always go add weapons. After the last 2 weeks, I'm very confident Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't think he's the injury. I don't think that's an issue. 2, Josh Reynolds has proven to be that next guy to where he can step up. 3, Jamo comes back in four games. He will be back, and I cannot wait to see him play. I think he's going to be a huge piece to this offense. Especially with David Montgomery coming back in this little run game that they have with him and Jahmyr. And I do think after that, Khalif Raymond and Marvin Jones, I think those guys, they're great.
I was just about to say, he was your sleeper. Khalif Raymond was your sleeper unsung hero pick
and
before.
He scored a touchdown.
For the game, the flea flicker touchdown. It was a greatly drawn up play. And he had a huge, it was a punt return right before the end of regular time, before the end of the fourth quarter.
It's crazy to me that no one really was talking about Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond before. People were like, we need a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver.
I was. All offseason I'm going to book it. I got receipts, too.
Yeah, I felt like there was a handful of people who were just they made it sound like that we had practice squad guys. But
that doesn't mean the return of Jamison Williams won't be a significant elevator of this offense. It's going to be massive. What I hope is that they don't ease him along again like they're doing Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell and some of these guys. Like they did to him at the end of last season. They give him one target here. When he comes back, whatever they need to do, and hopefully his hamstring injury is better, when he comes back, he needs to be getting 10 targets. I mean, they need to get the ball in his hands early and often. Quick. Yeah. Do they need to do anything with their defensive line depth, specifically at the defensive tackle position? You know what? I'll open it up to the edges, too, because Aiden Hutchinson, although he's leading the league in pressures, we're not getting sacks. Do they need to make a move? And we can extend this. We can bring this back into the next segment. But initial thoughts there, Booner.
Real quick, we'll do this one short here. You have to play Bugs and Roger.
Yeah.
You have to give them a chance.
Yes.
It's not even a thing where how they've been in practice, how's this person been doing, how has this been doing. It's who you have out there right now isn't producing. The best opportunity you have is just try something else. Get Bugs in. We saw what they could do. We saw what Bugs could do last year. Just get him in there. I don't care. You have to do it. And real quick, can you pull up that Bugs suite, Jalen? I'm sorry. Before we go to break.
I got you, neighbor. Give me a second. I got you, buddy.
Broder hasn't even seen this yet, but Bugs tweeted this out just about at 7 o'clock tonight. I love hard times because when I break through, it's going to be my time, and I'm never looking back. Ooh. Isaiah Bugs is ready to go. So whenever Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Aaron Glenn, they want to throw him out there and they want him to go play and maybe do anything more than Aleem McNeil's doing or any of these guys, Benito Jones, whatever they're doing right now, which is literally nothing. They have 0 quarterback pressures, 0 all missed tackles, everything is 0. Try some insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting the same result. I heard that all the time growing up because I was terrible at school. Oh, you're just going to keep doing this, Booner? You keep doing this? No, that's insanity. Change something up. Bring one of those guys. Get Bugs in there. See what someone can do. You should have done it last week. Do it this week.